Marvel panel in Canada. We just did the hour before, some faces I recognize, for our Star Wars panel. So what we've gone and done is we've asked our client-friendly folks from the US of A and our Hasbro Global team to come up today. So I'm Andrew Morris. I work on the Canada business for actually Star Wars, Marvel, and Princess. And I'm the Senior Brand Manager in Marketing. So we brought up two of our US team here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hey guys, I'm Dwight Stahl, Senior Design Manager on Marvel, and thank you guys for having us on here. This has been awesome.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan Ting. I'm the Brand Manager Marketing for Marvel Legends. Thank you. Just jump right in. Snazzy intro here.
Ryan's half DJ, you would never guess it.
So we actually just did our introductions right there. We're already on schedule. So Dwight and I are so happy to be here. We've enjoyed doing these panels in San Diego and other places, so we're very excited to join you all here in Toronto for the first time. So thanks for coming out. This will be a picture of you guys next year when we do the next fan presentation.
Some of you may even be in that picture.
This was from San Diego here, because we didn't have one from last year.
A little bit. So it's not filled with as much love as we feel.
So a big thank you to you all for keeping up with all the coverage this year. We've had a huge year, as you know, in Marvel for 2018. Legends, great movie stuff going on. I want to send a plug out to our Hasbro Toy Pick program. So for those of you who are not familiar, we like to hashtag our great Legends and Star Wars fan photography here. So use that hashtag. We watch it. We'd love to see them. Pulled some of my favorite images from our recent products here. We've got X-Men and Venom. So great work to all these folks on the screen. Before we jump headstrong into Legends, just want to kind of do a quick recap of the busy year for Marvel, and Dwight, feel free to jump in on any of these product lines. But as you all know, as big Marvel fans you are, this was our biggest year ever. 4 movies coming out, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse coming out later this year, but of course, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. And in addition to Legends, we have great kids and other product lines, including role-play items. So just kind of walking through the big beats here, we have Black Panther coming out strong to start the year. Great feature roleplay, feature figures, really bringing the magic of this brand to life through Shuri's gauntlets and vibranium claws, vibranium powered masks. Move along to our Avengers line. We have really great assembler gear, roleplay powered by Nerf, so customize your Nerf assembler gear. We have great 6-inch figure world, Titan with FX power packs for the first time, and a great big playset there. Also, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hopefully you guys saw that film a couple of months ago. We have, again, great Legends here with featuring both Ant-Man and our first, headlining female superhero, the Wasp.
Yeah, these were some more of that photoreal technology we're using on all of our theatrical figures. These are 2 of my favorites so far. I think the Paul Rudd head turned out exceptional. I hope you guys feel the same way. In the Evangeline Lily, we were pretty jazzed with it.
And the 4th movie for the year is the first animated feature. This is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So if you guys have seen those trailers look amazing with that new art style and all the talent they've announced thus far. We have great role play and figures in this universe as well.
Yeah, I never would have thought that I'd actually see a comic book actually come to life, and what we've seen so far in this movie, I don't know, it's something different. It looks something special. I hope it's going to be absolutely amazing. I hope you guys go out and see it and love it, hopefully as much as we will as well.
Love that Spider-Ham. Any Spider-Ham fans? We've also got
Who's a fan of bacon? Got it.
We have new Mighty Mugs continuing to roll out here. So these are, putting a great spin on collectability for all those personalities we love in the Marvel Universe, from Avengers to X-Men to, Guardians of the Galaxy here. So more mugs. So we're going to do a quick recap of the 2018 exclusives and some late ad items that we revealed at San Diego for the first time, just to kind of update everyone and remind you what will be coming for the rest of this year. So we have 2 exclusives that are available also at Fan Expo. I believe we are unfortunately sold out of the Red Skull and Tesseract. But that is a great item. We also have the Defenders Rail Authority 5-pack though. So for those of you who are fans of the really amazing Netflix shows, I just finished season 2 of Luke Cage. Really fun. We're bringing all the Defenders. Just finished. Dude, I'm a slow binge watcher. But you know, Iron Fist 2, season 2 coming out soon. So here you get all the Defenders plus Colleen in one pack there with the photoreal technology for the actor likenesses. So as you also know, 2018, the Marvel Studios is celebrating their first 10 years. So starting with Iron Man in 2008, we have 10 years of great, iconic blockbuster films. So we have, you know, a full product line for that.
The coolest thing about that is that's a journey that we've been with them since day one. I think we're one of the few partners that's been with them since the very beginning, and that's like such a huge treat for us to and a milestone for us to be part of that, and to now be able to look back at it and see what we missed and give you guys some more victory. Are you guys fans of the 10th anniversary type program? Something like that then continue for a future to go back and find those missing children?
Yeah, we had a lot of first-time figures in this line going back, right? We had Red Skull, Ronin, Yellow Jacket, Crossbones, great additions to the line. We did a Hasbro Toy Pick campaign for this too, so again, keep hashtagging us on Instagram and Twitter with your great work. Speaking of the gauntlet, so this was an old slide, but this is kind of showing how everyone's a fan of our gauntlet. Even Thanos himself, Josh Brolin down there, but some of the Avengers who didn't get to wear it, but they're fans. And then we actually found a fun interview that Kevin Feige gave, and this is a really important quote, so I want you all to pay attention about what he had to say about our Legends Infinity Gauntlet.
This is the greatest toy that we've made. This is Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet. Pretty cool.
So for the record, Kevin Feige called it, this is the greatest toy that we've made. So the Infinity Gauntlet out now, go get it. We actually, because you guys were so kind enough to invite us to Fan Expo, we went out of the way and actually got a special Infinity Gauntlet signed, autographed by Kevin Feige himself. So one lucky person in this room will be walking away with that. So what I want everyone to do is raise your hands. No, just kidding. Everyone check under your seat, and there will be one lucky person with something under their seat. Right down the Jimmy Jonga. So come up later, but basically what we have is a Infinity Gauntlet, and we have a signed letter of authenticity from Marvel Studios. So do you guys like giveaways? So as we move on, I want to touch on another item we have out now. So this is our Black Panther Legends Premium Roleplay Helmet, which is a great one-to-one scale adjustable fit. It has the vibranium light effect there, and it has the eye lenses that you can open and close just like in the film. So we have a couple to give away here. I thought I would do a little trivia though, make you guys work for it. We're not just going to throw helmets away. So maybe I'll take hands and then for the answers to these questions, all right? So listen to the question before you throw your hand up. Are we looking for the first person? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay. Maybe Andrew didn't call him out.
All right.
Damn it, Wade, put your hand down.
So we'll start easy and then go to more difficult. So this plant that is native only to Wakanda gives the Black Panther enhanced physical abilities.
Right there. Yeah.
The heart-shaped herb.
That is correct, sir. Great job. All right, you're going to get harder. So what name does Shuri give her high-tech sound-absorbing shoes? Sneakers. Also correct. And then this last one is tough, but so Eric Stevens, aka Eric Killmonger, is actually the cousin of T'Challa. What is Eric Killmonger's birth name?
I have right here the black t-shirt. Yeah?
That is correct. We got some good lists and knowledgeable things from and I saw, you have a question?
I got a question. All right. Have you guys seen the Black Panther Wave 2? The one in the theatrical wave? Who can name the name of the Dora Milaje in that wave?
This Henry, yeah?
There you go.
Four for four.
For the rest of you, they are available for purchase up at the Hasbro.
That was a great segue by Dwight. So we do have a second Black Panther wave coming out probably December-ish timeframe of this year. This is our first ever all-movie Legends Build-A-Figure wave, as you see here with this incredible lineup.
Yeah, we just debuted this a month ago rather, and so far the excitement for it has been feverish. M'Baku is our Build-A-Figure. He's a little bit bigger, towers over T'Challa and the rest of his crew. So we have T'Challa with a new head scan. The first head scan we did for the initial wave was based off a concept. When we saw Chadwick in his costume, we're like, oh cool, it's accurate, let's do it. And then we saw that he had grown out his beard and his hair, and it looked totally different than we thought it was going to look. So scrap it, move on, and we have a much better, much more screen accurate T'Challa for this wave. We have Io, and Io comes with two generic alternate Dora heads, so you can troop build her to make an entire squadron for Panther. You have King T'Chaka, as you saw him in that flashback sequence from the beginning of the film, rocking his 1990s look. You have Eric Killmonger in his paramilitary gear. It has the tribal mask as a removable piece, and some cool accessories. Then we have T'Challa in his vibranium purple glow from when he's battling Killmonger in the mines. And last but certainly not least, one of my favorite figures that I've worked on this year is our Ulysses Claw, because that is one dirty, dirty man. I think it turned out really cool, and he's got an alternate arm that pops off at the elbow, so you can give him his sonic cannon arm or his normal pale, creepy, no fingernail, alternate hand.
So that's the Black Panther Wave 2 coming out later this year. We also have, the 10th anniversary program was such a success, we thought we'd add basically like an 11th bonus item to it. So we're bringing back the Ultron Build-A-Figure from 2015 Avengers Age of Ultron with some improvements to it.
Yeah, you guys have been really, really receptive to us finding a way to bring back some of these older figures. Hulkbuster has been a huge success for us since the relaunch with the Dark Hulk. And we updated him with better, more accurate screen deco, and we're trying to find some of those other characters that maybe you didn't buy the the entire wave a couple of years ago when this came out for the original Ant-Man movie. So trying to find some of those gems in the line, give them fresh deco. So if you were a committed fan back then and you bought the whole thing, it's still special, it's still unique. It'll have a different deco than what you can get out of this one. But if you didn't get it, now you can fill some of those holes on your shelf with some updates.
And we have one more giveaway before I forget about it. So we have 3 of the 10th anniversary Avengers Infinity War 3-pack. So this has the LED light-up Iron Man Mark 50 with an updated Doctor Strange and an updated Thanos. So we have 3 to give away. Why don't we do 3 more questions, if that's okay?
They're also autographed, right?
They are autographed. You'll see in vibrant, thick red Sharpie, we have Bobby Valla, one of our designers back on the team who worked on this item. He has autographed them personally for you, so these are going to be super valuable.
He likes to tell me every time that we see this pack that his version of Thanos is better than mine. Can't argue with him. Can't argue with him.
All right, so let's see a show of hands too when we start with these questions. So I have one question kind of for each of the 3 characters in this pack. So for Doctor Strange, this is the home of the Masters of the Mystic Arts in Kathmandu, Nepal. What is their location
Shirt
called?
second from the end. You, yeah. You, yeah.
Okay. I got the answer wrong, so.
Who's next?
Someone
else probably on this side.
Yeah. Right there, John. Yes, you.
That is correct. Good job, sir. We have one for you. Enjoy your Bobby Valla autographed in the pack. So for Thanos in this pack, this one's pretty easy. The name of Thanos' home planet, which was eventually overrun by...
I saw Deadpool's hand go up first.
Correct. We're back on track. And then I'll be impressed if you guys can all get this in the first go around. But so to celebrate Iron Man, as we know, Iron Man 1 in 2008 was the very first film in the cinematic universe. So
Tony, his name's Tony.
So through Ant-Man and the Wasp, which just came out in 2018, how many films have there been? I'm looking for a number. Starting from Iron Man 1.
The man in the striped shirt.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. How many? That is right on, spot on, 20. So yeah, 20 films, and then through phase 3 with Captain Marvel and Avengers Untitled, that'll be 22.
It's crazy.
Films. We've been there for all of them.
22 can anyone in this room really fathom and believe that we're living in a world where we've had such ginormous theatrical success, building a one cohesive story for the past 10 plus years? Freaking amazing. Or more.
Alright, so moving on. We have the Luke Cage and Claire Temple 2-pack setting about now.
Some of you guys have been asking for the yellow shirt version. I know we have the cool Defenders Rail Authority version down there today, which you can get, but we have also this alternate yellow costume coming with Claire Temple. Claire comes with scrub gloves, because not just blue hands that I screwed up, they're meant to be medical scrub gloves. That's kind of fun. She is a nurse. It's fun.
So fun Luke Cage.
Now you have someone to patch up all your wounded warriors.
We also showed this at Comic-Con. Archangel is coming back with extra pieces.
Tony worked really hard to get this really vibrant and classic looking. If you guys don't know him or haven't met him before, Tony Colella is our master model artist. He puts all these things together for us, and it's his genius behind the paints and the colors that really makes this Marvel line so vibrant and come to life on your toy shelves. He's a genius, and he figures out ways when we have to go back and revisit characters to make them even better than we thought they could be to top the previous versions. And he comes with a cool accessory.
Yes, he does. For our Apocalypse Build-A-Figure.
Yeah.
So
we heard a lot of you guys saying, well, Apocalypse is good, we like it, but where's this shape-shifting ability stuff? It's like, well, we actually make a lot of things for these lines that we can't always give you the first time. And it's not because we're mean, sometimes we're mean. But the real reason is sometimes things just don't cost out, right? So we kind of shoot for the fences, we put everything we possibly want to make into the sculpts, and then we hope that we can get those pieces out to you. We try to put them all in the first time around, but in some instances it doesn't cost out, we can't afford the extra pieces, so we pull them back. And then when we find opportunities where we can tuck some of those Easter eggs in there to get them back out to you guys, you can kind of plus up or update or just keep your old figures growing and evolving as mutants do.
it's almost like we rehearsed this before, but we really didn't. But so speaking of extra pieces and getting them in there when we can, we have Magic coming back with more accessories than I've ever seen in the past thing.
Yeah, this was taken one of our great characters from our Book of Ashanti. It was a Comic-Con set from 3 or 4 years ago. And the great thing about the con sets are we get to do some crazy weird stuff sometimes. The negative is they're so hard to get. So we're trying to find some of those hidden gems, update them. She has new boots to match her more current look, and an all-new deco as well as some cool spell effects or purgatory demons and things that you can just kind of, who doesn't want a purgatory demon? Come on.
For Into the Spider-Verse, we also have this new 2-pack coming out with Miles and Spider-Gwen here.
In case you missed some of them the first time around, they've been updated in their deco to match their upcoming theatrical release. Can you really go wrong with more Spider-Man or more Spider-Verse? I know they're bringing Spider-Verse back in the comics now, so God willing, we'll have a whole bunch of new Spider characters to dive into for the next few years.
We have the follow-up to our vintage, Toy Biz inspired 1990 Marvel superhero line look figures. So these will be coming out later this year. The new wave of 6. We've got Ant-Man, the Wasp, classic Vision seems to be a popular one out there amongst the fans. We've got a classic Hawkeye, an updated Scarlet Spider with an all-new paint job and a new alternate head. Great job by Tony to make Scarlet Spider even better. And then Black Panther as well. So
yeah, this is Ryan's baby. This is something that he's been so passionate about leading the charge on because he loved those characters so much in the 90s and that classic kind of gorgeous look. It's fun to do them, it's kind of cool to see those characters back on a more classic blister card.
So go out and get 2, one to take out and one to keep in pack, because it's such a gorgeous work of art there from Ben and the team.
This is the one time I might agree with you. This might be the first product ever that's worth keeping in pack.
Dwight's not an in-pack collector like I am, so we differ on that.
They deserve to breathe.
So we wanted to take a little bit of time here. It's our first panel to give you guys a little bit of insight into our process and how we go about developing a figure from start to finish. It's actually a very long process with many kind of check marks along the road. So we thought we'd give you an abbreviated look at what goes into kind of like the 12+ month lead time for a Legends figure. So we're going to take you back to January 2017, when we sit down and do our kind of previews for the year and what we're going to do. And so we knew we were going to do an X-Men wave, right? So this is that Apocalypse X-Men wave that is out now. And as you can see, we had Omega Red in here initially, and that's because we work very closely with our partners at Marvel and then the team at Hasbro to kind of plan out waves for the year. So we had Omega Red planned for this wave initially, but we were really pleased to get a second wave of Deadpool Legends, which was the Sauron wave, you guys know. Yeah. We got that green lit, so we thought Omega Red made great sense there, because that's kind of a more villain-centric wave. So we, bump him, and we brought Gladiator back. So this is this is actually the board that Dwight sends over to Marvel. We get everyone aligned on. So this is how we review that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just kind of sort of moving the tokens around, trying to find out what's a good balance between heroes and villains and modern and classic. This is where we ended up.
So then after we align on what the characters are, we go into our sculpting phase, and so just have a little video here just to kind of talk you through a little bit of how they take literally a digital ball of clay and turn it into a pretty recognizable character. So does anyone have any guesses on who this might end up being from the wave? Wolverine? That's right. So Dwight, tell them just a little bit about how kind of long this process takes and how the revisions kind of go back and forth and how we end up.
I think it takes, we like to give our sculpting team 4 weeks for a standard action figure. Some things are more complex and that requires a little bit more lead time. Some things are much simpler, like in some cases, we have a lot of base bodies that we use to keep consistency across the line. And sometimes the figure's as simple as just making a new head and plopping it on the body. But then other times when you have to start with something from the basics, you're talking about best case scenario, 4 weeks, sometimes a little bit more, to get all the little details right. And it usually takes 2 or 3 rounds of going back and forth between the different sculptors. We have many amazing sculptors that work on this line, in-house as well as external vendors, that help us create these and bring the vision of the team to life. And that's a really goopy ear flap that eventually
gets straightened out.
But it's kind of cool just to give you guys a little sneak peek behind it. I think this is a ZBrush or Maya. Those are the two we use most to create this stuff. You guys want to be part of the team, go learn some ZBrush and then get us your contact information so we can use you guys to help us sculpt the amazing, wonderful things that go into your own toy shelves. Yeah.
All right. How does it go from the computer to the actual figure? Like, what is the sculpting? Does that just help you see what you're going to produce from it?
That's a really good question. What's the next
Like,
step?
how do they spend so much time designing on the computer and then it goes into the action?
That's just the magic. It's a freaking magic.
They take like the prototype and then it just goes into a machine and it makes it.
Yeah, we once we have the finished sculpt, and once both Marvel and Hasbro is happy and everything looks like it's meant to work the way it's supposed to do, we go down to we send these files to our rapid prototyping team inside as well.
we have our final sculpts, and then after that we will move on to deco. So this gets painted up and approved, you know. And then we spoke about the rapid prototyping. So this, you know, we grow these basically in the shop, and then Tony hand paints every single Legends figure that you see. He hand paints them.
This is actually showing you how the adamantium gets put into Wolverine's body. For a skyscraper Wolverine, and then they actually grow that. That superstructure that you saw is the support columns necessary to hold the pieces where they need to be as the pieces grow. And that's exactly, see, I told you, it's just how they put the adamantium into his body. So the next program right here, brought to you in Canada, right here. First time ever. Don't tell you the government.
So then this is a look at Tony, who works really fast to, you know, oh, did I there we go. So this is Tony hard at work assembling all the pieces of Wolverine, and then he gets to.
So yeah, once the orange one that you saw was grown comes out of the back of the tank, it goes through a casting process where they'll take the pieces, they'll cast it in rubber, so that you have a silicone mold that we can make multiple copies of at Hasbro. If any of you guys are into fine arts or you understand a little bit about sculpting, it's a lot of the same principles, just kind of done to the next level now that we have computers to aid us. 5-10 years ago, a lot of this stuff was done traditionally, which was like wax, which was, it took a lot longer, and for changes it was much more slow, because if you wanted a revision, you actually had to heat it up, melt it down, and redo it. Now you can just go back in files and kind of manipulate with the computer. So there's a lot of amazing advancements that, you know, we're super excited about, you know, as far as how we make them. You know, 99% of our sculpting is done digitally nowadays. You still use a little bit of wax to clean things up and to get them prepared for the trip to HFE, which is our offices Far East, to actually help work with our vendors to create the things. So all the old skills still count. You know, it's kind of like anything you tell your children, right? The basics matter. It's like you learn how to do the things the way you learn to do them. You drawing, sketching on paper, and eventually you'll replace that with computers and so on and so forth. But you got to understand the basics to be able to appreciate it and to give products that are this finely tuned at the end of the day. And there's still allowances you need to make. Sometimes we sculpt the claws and they're razor sharp, which, you know, won't pass QA, because we don't want you guys, you know, with bleeding fingers, or even though some of you weirdos actually will go out and get metal claws to replace them.
Bobby pins.
Yeah, bobby pins. Good lord. Good lord, man. But you know, then we have to soften some things, make sure that it's too sharp. You can't even produce it because the plastic won't flow to those points. You have to round some things out for safety and for manufacturability. But at the end of the day, I think we're living in a really, really wonderful time as far as 6-inch action figures go. You guys clearly believe that as well, because you're here to listen to us ramble on and stall you until we get to the really awesome reveals at the end of the video. But you know, that's a little sneak peek behind what it takes to get to the final product that you guys all own and love.
Yeah, and then after that, great. Thanks for Dwight for sharing that insight. That's why we bring them out here, so you can, you know, talk you through some of that. But then once we have the final figure right, we do things like
Don't be doing food.
There we go. So we take the paint master there, and we'll do a photo shoot. So this is, and then, you know, Ben and team back at home do great photo shoots with fun effects for the back of packaging. And then wanted to do a plug for this, because this is something that I don't think a lot of people notice, but the illustrations that we get on the sides of our Legends figures, those are actually custom done for us. They're not pre-existing comic book art, but what we are able to do is we reach out to actual notable comic artists such as John Tyler Christopher, who else? Mike Diodato,
does a lot of work for us.
Ken Lashley recently now. So this Wolverine figure from 2018 was actually done by Mike Diodato, who was, you know, a big name X-Men artist and famous for his Wolverines. So he did that special Wolverine for us on the sides. And then we get our kind of full packaging, and then you see, you know, the final Wolverine there. And then the very last step is the fun part, is what we get to play with it. We do photography with the actual products. So these are the posed photos that you would then see in the marketing and on you know, retailers' websites and things like that. So got to make a fun little danger room diorama there for the X-Men wave.
I think Finn's doing a lot of the new X-Men stuff for us too.
Yeah.
Ken Lashley, he's a Toronto native, big wonderful man. He's downstairs somewhere, I'm sure. So.
All right, so you all ready for some reveals? Thanks for listening. As we said, we were so happy to be here in Canada for the first time. So speaking of Canada, some of you have been guessing that there's a certain Canadian team. These guys actually go back, very deep in the lore. They first appeared in the X-Men back in the day, and we've gotten a few of the Alpha Flight members out thus far.
Well, this is tough for me because, for years I've been saying no Alpha Flight. I'm never going to do Alpha Flight. Then you're like, what? You're going to Toronto? I'm like, okay, we're doing Alpha Flight.
So thus far, right, we've had our friend Puck back in 2013. This was part of that Wolverine line. So those 4 figures got us our nice Puck figure. And then we weren't here last year in person, but we worked to have a fun Sasquatch reveal for you all last year. That was the first time. So he is in Deadpool Wave 1 that was out earlier this spring. So we've got two down thus far. So we thought we'd go and add someone else, someone pretty important, the leader perhaps of Alpha Flight. Of course, this is Guardian, aka Weapon Alpha, aka Vindicator, aka James Hudson. It's a great name. So, Vindicator.
We'll have it downstairs for you to see in person in just a little bit.
Absolutely beautiful.
Now,
She already has requested a full-size version for the Hasbro Canada office.
So now we have more good guys. I think they might need a villain.
What happens if you eat a person north of the border? I'm not condoning, I'm not recommending. I'm just saying it gives you a pretty cool, hairy thing.
I worked very hard to find that soundbite from the X-Men.
Our hairiest action figure to date.
So we have a special video here. This one was not ready to bring to you in person, so we have a 3D video to share with you instead, showing the great sculpting.
And Tony, our painter, saw as we mocked this up quickly before the show. He's like, Dwight, you can't have yellowish fur because yellow and snow doesn't work well together. So he wants to change that to some more grays and blue hues for the final. But it's a really, really vicious modern take. I think we're using some, I could be wrong and I apologize if I am. I think it was using some of Art Adams' most recent work to kind of get the inspiration for this version of Wendigo. Guys, what do you think? You like him?
Yeah.
He's huge. He's built off of a lot of the existing pieces from Sasquatch. So if you have Sasquatch, you'll understand the size and scale of him, but he's actually even a little bit more big as well. He is a build figure.
Yeah, so for all these reveals, we're not really at liberty to discuss where they're going necessarily in terms of waves and placement, but they will all be coming in 2019, so stay tuned for more details. And we have one more here for you. We did this tease back at San Diego, which a lot of people, got right away, and that was intentional. So, of course, we were bringing this classic X-Men villain to the line.
No one's seen this. This is the first time anyone's seen this.
Just for you. The last one featured more modern version a couple years back.
Yeah, we did a modern one, maybe 3-4 years ago, so we thought said let's go back and give you guys a classic Raven, so there you go.
Thank you.
And there might be some extra pieces with her too that we're not going to show right now.
Right, she does have a pretty iconic mutant power. Right.
Maybe those pieces play into that.
Right.
And so the Star Wars team, you kind of plugged this too, but we'll be back, Marvel Legends team, at New York Comic Con and then the international cons in London, Paris, and Italy, Lucca, later this year with more reveals. So stay tuned. If you can't fly out there, just watch all the internet coverage and let us know what you think. Yes, so we'll have reveals for that as well. And again, we were so happy to be here. Marvel, Canada, really working together. What's great about Marvel is that there's Canadian characters that we are allowed to reveal, right? Versus, Star Wars. So, going back to Wolverine, we learned so much about Wolverine today and how he came to be. But before there was Wolverine, there was Weapon X. So this is our last reveal here for you, trying to save the best for last. All new version.
So this is the second hairiest, most naked action figure I've ever worked on. Yeah.
You have in here the prototype, so it'll be down in the booth after for your photo team. Do we have a little time for some questions?
We do. We have about 10 minutes, so we'll try to take as many questions as we can. So let's start in the Star Wars shirt.
Wow.
I gotta tell you, it was really impressive.
So guys, that's a great question.
That sounds like a grown-up question. I don't answer grown-up questions. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the global side, we develop exclusives to be used, globally. So apologies that those Fantastic Four figures were hard to come by, but I think we're working, with Andy and the teams to try to make those available to you.
As far as exclusivity to just Canada, I'm not sure that we're at that stage yet, but we'll take that note and we'll talk to Ryan and his team.
I'm not necessarily looking for just a figure just for us, but
Yeah, so as far as the exclusives and coming to Canada, we really are, we're looking, we took a first stab at taking some of those exclusives to EV Games. Obviously we have some work to do and we know that, so we're re-looking at our volumes and sort of what they should have and how much we think we could sell. So, give us a chance, we're coming back, we're meeting internally as to how we handle this going forward, so.
You can also trick your wife into some sort of American vacation. That just happens to be stationed around a whole lot of shopping places, We love visitors.
Okay, right here in the lab.
Maximum carnage type stuff. Yeah, no, those are all in play. Bobby is working on the Spider-Man line now. The line's grown so big we've had to task other designers to help with it because it was too much for us just to do ourselves. So Bobby's on Spider-Man. He loves that art in particular. So I think there's a very good chance you'll see some of those types of characters coming in the not too distant future.
Over here, yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for coming to Canada. I'm so excited to actually get to come see this. It's been a great year for Legends. My wallet hates you guys, but I love you guys. One of my favorite part of collecting is the hunt, and I love that you guys gave us a variant with Psylocke. It was really cool. Are we going to see more variants?
Only when I screw up.
Really? Is that why?
That is totally why.
Really?
We don't typically do variants because now that we're doing a lot of online sales, accounts like Amazon need to be able to track every individual figure, and they need to be supplying you with what you are asking to get. So to do variants that way, you actually have to have extra item count for all these things, and we're very sensitive to the amount of items we put out in a year. But when I'm not doing my job correctly, and I fall asleep at the wheel, and the samples come in, I'm like, yeah, looks great, looks just like we wanted, ship it. And then a month goes by, and somebody goes, dude, Betsy's hair's purple. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, yeah, but the toy's black. And I'm like, what? Son of a... So then we send some emails and we make some running changes so you get variants.
Okay, we're gonna go over here, Celia.
The classic Ultron
I don't recall. That was from an older body, and I don't think it does because that was on the pin system, not on the snap-on ball post. So if you're handy, if you like power tools, not for you children. You know, you could Dremel it out and you could probably get it to work, but you know, obviously with extreme care. But yes.
I don't know where to go. We'll go to the gauntlet man.
Just question, are you planning on releasing the little figures as like a sequence figure like some of the old ones that see how they'll work, or someone's gonna write it on vinyl, or like begin so I know you want to be Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we look at it when it makes sense to bring a completed Build-A-Figure back, you know, as either by itself or part of a multi-pack. You know, we are conscious of keeping the original special, so we'll always update the deco at least, if not do additional pieces or, you know, change it up in some way. But yeah, I think all of those ones are kind of in play, and we're aware of what's come before us, and so we do keep it on the list and move forward.
Head to the boards, you know, let us know what you guys want. We check them as often as we can. Sometimes it's, you know, daunting to go through the amount of stuff that you fans put out there. But we do like to, when we have the opportunity to, Ryan's much better at it than I am, and Rob, our engineer, is also much better at it than I am. But searching to try to find out what's working and what you guys are responding positively or negatively about. Because, you know, it's not you guys bitching, it's not you guys, you know, venting. I mean, it is that, but it's also, it gives us insight to what's important to you, you know, which is what's helped us grow this brand to what it is today. Because without all of you guys, you know, yelling at us or praising us, you need both. You know, it does me no good to come to these shows for you guys like, yay, it's wonderful. It's like, good, high five. But that doesn't help us grow, you know, as opposed to when you call us out when something's not right or doesn't work, or, you know, double frickin' elbows on females. Yeah, you know, it's like, those things that, you know, that helps us. It helps us a lot. The development team really relies on you guys and your passion to help us make this line better.
We're gonna go over here by the wall with the glasses.
The Spider-Man wave that came out months ago, I've seen almost every figure keep popping up on Amazon and stuff, except Mysterio. Where is he? I want the white skull head.
So that was the first wave, right? For this year. That was the same. It's the same situation as Psylocke.
That was a similar. Yeah, that was a very very similar. It was like our painter wanted green. I said no, make it white. But the communication to our partners, the initial deco spec had the green. But I intended that one. That's where me and Tony actually disagreed on that one. Instance. He liked the green. I liked the white. And white. White is, well, all right, I don't know what the hell you call official and what you don't. The one that I intended to do was white.
More, which one will you make more of?
White.
Okay.
That's what we changed it to.
I want one.
Okay.
So right in there, the white is the you know, final one. So those will be getting more out there.
The gentleman standing at the back.
Oh, where is the Danielle Moonstar figure?
I'm sorry, who?
Danielle Moonstar?
Oh, Hasbro doesn't comment on unofficial things.
She was like in she was the swap of the sea.
She was, let's see, that was what would have, there was something before the puck wave, right? Because the puck wave got,
She's UK exclusive.
My brain isn't as good as it used to be. There was a lot of evolution through all of these brands and all these waves, and sometimes what you originally envisioned to do doesn't always make it out. And when things get canceled, sometimes try to pick up the bits and pieces of what's left and put together something else that would succeed and would get out there. That Danny Moonstar was a victim of that instance. The good thing about it is that figure is god-awful in comparison to where we are today. So, you know, hang in there, don't give up hope. But if we do Danny in the future, she will not be the version that you saw 3 or 4 years ago. We would not use that.
So we did that with Songbird too, right?
Yeah.
She was in that camp, and then we did. So we hear you want the character, but you actually, if you think about it, you don't really want that figure that was shown. You want Dwight's new stuff, and so they're all on the list for moving forward.
Oh, right here on the end.
So you guys hear us ask you guys for years, what is one figure that you guys would
I got two for you, right? One's bizarre as hell. I want Gossamer from New Mutants. Yeah, there's like two people who know what I'm talking about. And if I could have my dream come true, the stars will align, the sunlight will shine down upon Hasbro and Disney's offices at the exact moment of time where Fox deal is signed and inked in blood, and everybody is happy, warm and cuddly, and I get to do a Hugh Jackman Wolverine and a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool.
Yeah, 2019 is kind of a dream for me. We're getting Gambit, we're getting Professor X and his hover chair. Those were kind of on my list. So, you know, just more probably classic X-Men stuff. I'd love Dwight and team to take a crack at Mojo again at some point. I actually didn't get to complete the one from back in the day, so more X-Men, please.
Andrew, do you want anything more than just a life-size Guardian?
I'll just take the Guardian. I'm really happy that Professor X is coming out though, so we're gonna go back corner cap. I think you're Captain America.
I really love the change up in the packaging design for the Venom Wave. I don't keep it, but it was nice while it was on my desk when it opened. Is there something going forward, changing up the art style and the graphic coloring for coming up waves, or was that kind of a cool test finish?
I think it was definitely a cool test, just to try to do something different. You know, we've used the black line look for a few years now. I know our creative services team, led by Chris and Ben is our lead designer on majority of all of Legends and a lot of other stuff that you guys see on Marvel and other. He likes to do some special stuff, so some of the exclusives, so I'll kind of play with them a little bit to have some fun and make it a little bit unique and different. I think that was the first big venture into a mainline wave.
Yeah, in terms of like the white versus black, that was a pretty drastic change, but those guys are always hard at work for, you know, updating in other ways, whether it's I think we're moving to some more color illustrations on the side panels, which you'll see start to roll out in waves soon.
For you Impact collectors, would you guys like to see some variety with the packaging like that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Striped shirt.
Okay, so I have a question regarding figure slots. So are we still sticking with like the current packaging scheme, or is there going to be, have you guys talked about like certain sheets and kind of curve going forward? Or is that not something you can talk about?
Are you talking about package swaps? Are you talking about like when someone goes to the store and
Yeah, we can work secure so that they can.
This comes up a lot, and you know, sadly that doesn't fall on our shoulders. That falls on the accounts and what they choose to take back in when something is pillaged and pilfered. That being said, you guys this has been a problem. We've seen it for a while, but we want to give you guys the best product at the best cost. For you, and obviously as well as for us. Some of those other packaging that was used in the past, like the clamshells and stuff back in the old toy business, it's very, very expensive. If we went to that, which is pilfer, I won't say pilfer proof, because those people are crazy and they figure out ways, but that was a much more difficult product to swap, but that would be a lot more expensive for us to produce, and for us to do that, that cost would go to you, and we don't want that. So we're trying to really hold as low of a price point as we can, because we know this is a premium product. And I got to speak American because that's what my brain's programmed for. For a $20 action figure, we think we did deliver you guys the best product out there in the market, bar none. We're really proud of it. Packaging would raise that price, and we don't want to do that to you guys. And we just hope that, knowing you guys are very, very diligent, that you would hopefully not be tricked, often into picking up something like that on the shelf.
We're going to go over here to the yellow shirt. We only have time for about 3 or 4 more questions, and then we have to wrap this up. So,
any plans for an updated Classic Hulk?
Classic Hulk?
Yeah, any plans for an updated version?
I think when we get to the end of Avengers 4, which is just right around the window, the animated finale for everything that's been amazing in Marvel for all these years. We're not sure what we're going to do, but it leaves us an opportunity to explore some other great classic things. I know Ryan and Rob have been really, really passionate about trying to find some of those classic characters that we haven't done for a long time, because we spent so much Avengers love on theatrical, which we're not upset about. We love doing that stuff, but I think we would love to get a chance to take a crack at some of those classic Avengers.
okay, so we're 3 more. So right here, and we're going to go in the front with you, and then the guy in the red shirt is going to stand up the whole time too. So last 3 questions.
So obviously we just got the brain right now. Is there any plans for any other symbiotic characters later down the line? Symbiotic characters like Alien or Multiverse?
It's all in play.
We developed that wave, that comic-inspired wave, like before there was actually news about the Venom movie. So, like, depending on what happens in that movie, which we still don't know, and if certain characters pop, maybe we'd look to do the comic versions on future Spider-Man movies in the future.
So, you guys did Star Wars, you guys did Marvel. You guys talked about maybe a couple other lines you guys are looking at, and what are the chances are going to be
We do have, a lot of amazing things in the works, but we don't talk about any of the stuff that we're not showing or discussing here this weekend because it's still, there's a lot of top secret stuff going on behind the scenes always at the main office, your office, all over the place to try to figure out where we can go next and how we can grow our brands to deliver the best product to you guys. So, just hang in there, stay tuned. We got lots of more awesome stuff.
These guys can hear me, so
Gargoyles. You had 2 questions left, and he chose gargoyles. Long red beard, and one out there in the lobby.
So, in terms of female action figures, also swivel biceps like full would be nice.
Okay.
George A. Foster.
If we, whenever we do have the double elbows, we try to make sure you have to have that break or it doesn't function well. But on even some of the single ones, I think our She-Hulk had it, Jane Foster has it, so noted.
And also, character recommendation, like, get a shield pack, and you can see her, and then this new Marvel Studios line, you can see her, and Exiles now has a version of her, the comic book, maybe Peggy Carter, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, he'd be great. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Good idea.
Okay, so we're going to just take this opportunity now to thank again our mobile team for coming up here and giving us in Canada some exclusive reveal.
It's been awesome to meet so many of you guys, and hopefully this is something that we'll get a chance to do again, in the not too distant future. Yeah.
So if there's any kids in the room, or sorry, I guess 14 plus, we have a couple of Deadpools that we're going to give away to those that set of team Marvel team members here, and then obviously we have more up for sale in the booth. So of our new Chimichanga Deadpools.
And we're putting some of those figures on display downstairs, and we'll be able to be here for a little while longer. I unfortunately have to catch an earlier flight than I wanted to, but if you have questions, come down and catch us downstairs. Okay? Thanks, guys.
Thank you for watching the Convention Junkies coverage of Fan Expo Canada 2018. Join the conversation below with a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more. If you would like to help us with future projects, please visit our Patreon page.